Hello, everybody in Cowabunga. Welcome to another fantastic installment of the Bench Mob. I
Did
only
you
did
just
that.
did you just have a stroke?
I was like, I'm like, okay, I'll roll with it. I'll roll with it.
He's like, I
Cowabunga.
just he's like, you
All
guys weren't
right.
paying attention.
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm in
Yeah,
it.
that was the plan, Stan.
I'm in it. I'm with it. I'm
Well,
with
welcome to
it.
this week's edition of 48 Minutes Basketball Network, the Bench Mob here on the 48 Minutes Basketball Network. Excited because we were in round 2, Electric Boogaloo, here on the
Yes,
on the
we are.
network, talking a little playoff basketball, some awards. Um, I don't know what else is going to come up. Probably nothing. But we're going to get to all of it because it's that time of the year. So I am Tim Daniel. Here is with, as always, Mr. Sean Mackey himself. How are you, sir?
What's going on, man?
How are you?
Basketball season is coming to a close soon, so we're getting there, and it's getting really entertaining.
Yeah, I see you rocking your Steph Curry today.
Ben Brown's pick for the world champion Golden State Warriors. I'm all on board on your ship there. Okay,
Hey,
and I'm
there
going
we
to tell
go.
everybody that you heard it first here.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hear the voice there. Joining us as always, my man, 100 grand, Trap Money Benny himself, Ben Brown. How are you?
What's good? What's good, man? Second round of the playoffs, so we're just having some fun here. The games are starting to get better and better as the rounds go, and just excited to talk some NBA playoff, brother.
I like it. I like it. So before we get into today's show, a little housekeeping. If you're watching this live or later on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, you see the link there on the bottom. 48 Minutes Basketball Network.merchmake.com. Go get yourself some 48 Minutes Basketball Network gear. It is sweet. We have a lot of really cool stuff on there,
Nice.
and we're adding regularly. So we're adding to the shop regularly, so you can go on there and get some solid merchandise. So be sure to check that out. Also, as we are looking to expand here to kind of do more with the YouTube channel, we're looking for people who can help us with video editing. So if you're out there and you know how to edit videos and do cool podcast segments and want to help us out, like let us know. Shoot us a DM on any of the social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and we will be sure to get back to you on that. We really could use the help. It would be really helpful and be really appreciative. So with that being said, guys, it is now obviously round 2 of the playoffs. And so far, every series has played one game. And we're kind of just right now, as we're recording, game 2 is going on between Boston and Milwaukee. The Celtics are up by 12 as we start recording. But let's kind of go through each series. We'll start there because obviously that was kind of the headline of game 1 of the first game ones was just the beating, the destruction Milwaukee put on the Celtics in that game. Obviously Giannis with 24, 13, and 12, Jrue Holiday with 25. You got really good minutes from Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, and Javon Carter coming off the bench from Milwaukee. They looked really deep. And obviously Boston, we knew that this was going to be a fight. We knew this was going to be a series. They're up 17 now as we're getting into the show. So what have you guys kind of looked at from the series so far, and what have you taken away? And what are your thoughts on what's happened? What you kind of took away from game 1?
Um, my takeaway is that I felt like Milwaukee was trying to make it a fist fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were super physical, they were super aggressive. They played downhill. They played that attacking style. It was just one of those things where you looked at it. Milwaukee was just the more physical team, the more physically just imposing team. And I'm not saying that Boston wasn't ready. You can't say that, but I think that Boston was riding the high of knocking out Brooklyn. They were riding the high of playing well, and I don't think they were ready for that physical style. It helped that, like you said, Tim, Milwaukee got big contributions from Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton. Not saying that it's not expected, but when you get that many contributions from people on the bench, It's something that you're not prepared for to get those big minutes from those guys. So I think Milwaukee all the way around just kind of punched them in the mouth and kind of got on top of them before they could even blink. So as we're seeing this game too, as it's going on right now, it seems like Boston has adjusted a little bit. They also have some guys hit some shots. Boston did not shoot the ball particularly well in that first game. So we'll see how the second game goes.
Yeah, so all I have to say about that first game is just Giannis, best player in the world, doing best player in the world type things. As always, he's an unstoppable force. And like you guys were both saying, the Bucks are so deep. They're so deep, and they've got championship DNA in that whole roster right now. All those guys it's a step up mentality. Chris Middleton's been out, since the first series, and everybody's having to step up. As much as I hate Grayson Allen, I feel like the majority of non-Bucks fans or non-Duke fans hate Grayson Allen. He has played very, very well. If you're able to get contributions from guys like that and to get them to buy into a system where it's like, we're going to try to win this no matter what. It doesn't matter if our second, our second guy goes down. Someone's going to have to step up. If that's, one or the other or another person one night or Bobby Portis or whatever. They've got a lot of people they can rely on with that team. And they're really built well. I think Brook Lopez is a very decent center for the role that he's playing for them. I mean, he's not the same guy he was putting up, with the Nets years ago, but he fits this team so well. Everybody on this team has a purpose. And I just feel like in the end, even without Middleton, I feel like Boston is going to have a very, very hard time. Kind of the same. The way it's going, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Bulls Celtics series when Garnett was out and the Bulls thought that they had a fighting shot. That's what the Celtics are doing right now. I think this is one of the series that could go 7. But if you get a team that thinks they can win, that's going to go out there and everything, but you also have a team that even if one of your best players is out, they're going to step up even more. You're in for a dogfight every game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like this matchup. I think it's a lot of fun. Obviously you're seeing this evolution of Jason Tatum as he continues to just be better and better and better. I mean, really kind of making his case as potentially a top 10 player in the league now. And then you have Giannis, who, like you said, Sean, is kind of flexing his muscle as the best player in the world. And that just kind of makes all the difference as well. It's just kind of a really different dynamic between these two teams. Obviously having a guy like Drew Holiday to be there to kind of protect. Marcus Smart's out tonight. Apparently they don't need him. By the way, this first half's going, but
hey, you know what? Let's not say anything yet. I've seen so many 15 to 20 point leads come and go over the last couple of days. Go. All we need to do is go into my living room and ask my wife about NBA basketball, and she's going to tell you that nothing matters until the last 2 minutes of the game. Nothing. She's like, every game I watch with you, it proves my point, and I'm like, that's not why we watch, though. We don't just watch the last 2 minutes of the game, and she's like, but that's all you have to do. And I'm like, I can't really prove her wrong right now because that's what's been going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun, though, and I've really liked it. Let's go to the other Eastern Conference series. So Philly, Milwaukee, and Philly, Miami. Woof. Jeez, Tim.
Miami.
Yeah. It's been a day.
Cowabunga.
Yeah, Cowabunga. Keep you on your toes here at the Bench Mob. So, last night we had game 1 of the Philly-Miami series, and obviously was kind of a pure old butt kicking. Miami wins 106-92. A lot of the game, though, I was just waiting for the Heat to take over. It was like the game would get close, and it was like, this team's without Embiid. Like, come on, make a move. And it seems like they just couldn't take advantage of it for a lot of stretches of the game. And then towards the end, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo were just awesome. Without Embiid, I just really feel cautious that they can't do this.
Tim. They they don't have a shot if they don't have Embiid.
Yeah.
Come on, let's call a spade, man. I know you're trying to do it for the podcast people and trying to stay. So I said they don't have a shot, and if Joel Embiid does not play in this series,
It's
the
over.
Heat may sweep them.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. And especially when Doc goes and does his presser last night, and he goes, "We don't care what anyone has to say. We're going to continue to start DeAndre Jordan." And I'm like, have
Yeah.
we not been through this before? Have we
Listen,
not had this conversation?
can we
for
put Doc
6
Rivers?
years?
Hold on, can we put Doc Rivers in like top 5 worst press conference people of all time? When there's pressure and there's chips on the line and things go bad, don't send Doc Rivers into the
Do you-
presser. Don't you have an assistant coach that you can sit in there and don't let Doc speak? He just every time he fouls it up.
Do you think that your second best player is a player that would be on a championship caliber team? Oh, I don't know. Bad answer, Doc.
Right.
Bad answer.
Not a good answer.
That presser literally ruined their whole season.
Yeah.
Even with Embiid having the year that they did, there was so much unneeded drama. If you would have just went out there and backed him up and said, yeah, he is. He could have lied. It doesn't even matter. He might not even been there at the end of the season. Everything would have changed. It all started with him. He sucks at press conferences. You're right, Ben.
You are.
We got to
You
ban him.
are. Yeah. I feel like Doc Rivers, without bad he is at press conferences, could work for the Cincinnati Reds. Like,
Oh, yeah.
just fit right in.
It's not
It's
our
like-
fault. It's not our fault. We just got to make a plan. You're like, that doesn't even make any sense. Like, what are you talking about?
What? You put your foot in your mouth way too much?
Yeah,
Man.
like you enough's enough. Like you need to tell somebody else has got to do your press for you.
Here's the other thing that I'm kind of thinking about because we're talking about Joel Embiid here. Isn't there one person that, like, if they had to play basketball and wear the mask, that would just play it up better than Joel Embiid? Like, is there one person?
No.
Like, he would literally go out there like straight Phantom of the Opera, like
Didn't he
95
have that
already?
Undertaker.
I feel like he's already done this.
He's done that
Yeah.
before.
He's done that before.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like 1995 Undertaker, like just
Yeah.
full on,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
no
I-
one that would do
I-
like
I
live that
agree
up
with
more
you.
than him. Yeah.
Yeah.
The 76ers have no shot without Embiid at all. And also and I'm going to go 2 routes with this. Number 1, James Harden has missed a step.
Yeah.
What?
He had
All
6
those cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
all
Like
this-
what happened?
Oh, I'm going to go there.
Like honestly though, like what happened? Like James Harden, and I'm gonna give him credit because the guy, I mean, he was a phenomenal player, but like
Sure.
from like the Brooklyn stuff to, I mean, his little bit of last time in Houston to the Brooklyn years to now,
Brooklyn
like,
year.
what?
Year.
Brooklyn
Yeah,
year, yeah.
Like what happened? Like
I'll-
he was just a shell of himself.
I
Like,
can
don't
tell
get it.
I can tell you what happened.
Oh
So
boy.
he ended up
Late
leaving
night.
Houston.
Nice shot.
All right. No, it's nothing controversial, guys. I'm not even going to go. No. He ended up getting to Brooklyn and he became very comfortable facilitating the ball to, probably the best scorer in the NBA. So, or Kyrie Irving when he was able to play like the 3 games they played together.
Yeah.
So he got really used to doing that. And I will say this, and I'm not going to judge a man by how many cheesesteaks he may or may not have eaten.
How many
But
strip clubs he
he-
may or
but-
may not have entered and exited.
yeah. So you went there. That wasn't even me.
Right.
but
Just saying.
but he has been. I will say this: like he. I don't think he has physically been in the best shape of his career in the last couple of years. I think he has kind of slacked off a little bit. I remember the photos when he first ended up, when he left the Rockets and ended up going to the Nets and how out of shape he looked and everything. And he's not, I mean, this guy's a professional. He can go out there and do whatever he can still drop 40 points. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But I think he got so comfortable in that 1 year. He's like, you know what? I'm going to pass the ball more. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a couple rebounds. I'm going to affect the way. Like, I feel like he got comfortable not having to shoulder the load. When he was in Houston, he was shouldering the load all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
all the time. That was his whole thing. It was like, you know, he won an MVP there. He, you know, I think did he win a couple scoring titles or maybe one
Mhm.
scoring title?
He-
Yeah.
at
So
least one.
at least one. And even if he didn't, it felt like he did.
Yeah.
So, you know, he got comfortable with that. And now he's in a situation. Now this is there. I mean, what is he making this year? $40 million?
Something like that.
Something insane
yeah,
like
something.
that. Your best player is out right now. Okay. Who is probably the MVP. Okay. And he dragged a team. And I don't particularly like the way that this 76ers team has been constructed. Like if Embiid would be the Embiid that he is now, you know, 3 years ago, they would have won a title. Because I felt like that year where they had all the shooters.
$47.5 million.
Yeah. So I feel like, you know, they would have made it even further, you know, back then. But I mean, you look at this team and it's like, besides Tobias Harris, and there's no reason why Tobias Harris should be scoring 27 points. James Harden should be putting up 35 right now. He needs to be putting up 35. He has to. He needs to become that guy again. And you're not getting anything from DeAndre Jordan. He shouldn't even be in the league anymore. He shouldn't even be in the league anymore. And I'm a DJ fan. Like I thought he was just a great player out in LA. I mean, they didn't win anything in the grand scheme of anything, but
He means the Clippers, just so we're clear.
just the Clippers, yes. I could go on a tangent about those other LA bums too, but I'm not going to. But yeah, I mean, you look at that. Like, I mean, he didn't play very many minutes last night. He only played 17 minutes. But it's like you're going to start this guy, and what are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now? There is no. You are in a situation where you have an MVP talent out, and you're starting complete garbage. It's like that. You know, that year after, you know, the Chicago Bulls dynasty ended and, you know, you got, you know, like James Edwards or somebody rolling out there starting, you know, on the team the next year. Like what are we doing? So, yeah, they've got to make some adjustments. James Harden needs to step up. Tyrese Maxey, I love you, man, also needs to even put in more effort because it's going to take that much more to get to where they were with Embiid, and they're not going to get it without Embiid. Like you guys said, there's no way they're going to win without him. He is that detrimental to this squad.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the one matchup they should be able to execute is Gabe Vincent versus Tyrese Maxey. Like the one thing the Miami Heat do not have until Kyle Lowry comes back is a point guard.
Yeah.
But did he just like go straight to the game last night from the golf course? Like,
yeah. He did. He played 18
like,
went straight to
put his gloves in his back pocket as he sat down. Like,
it went
he's
straight
feeling
to the He's enjoying the fruits of his labor.
But
you know what I mean?
but also, are we not giving the Miami Heat any credit? Like, which I feel like everybody's done. I feel like the whole season, everybody. I mean, they ended up. I think they ended up the number 1 seed, didn't they? At the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Yep. Like we haven't given them, they're freaking Rodney Dangerfield right now, and like it's always about the other team and why they didn't play hard enough. It's never the Heat were really good last night. Yeah. It's never like that.
No, they were awesome.
Yeah, the Heat were good, and Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero just decided the game was over. Like those two just took over. They were like
so good.
Yep. They're like, They're like, this is what we do. Hero hit shots. Bam was catching lobs, you know, moving in the post. Once they decided they wanted the game over, because Jimmy Butler really didn't even have a particularly great game, but those two were so good. Like it was their show, and they just like, we want the game over. So then they just took over. So, you know, Sean, you make a great point. It's hard when you're used to being the man. And then all of a sudden now you have to be the facilitator. That's a great point because, you know, I think James Harden kind of took himself out of that mode. One, I think that he was I think that a lot of the times it's the pressure of people saying, oh, well, you're this, well, you're that, and you're this, and you're that, and you're not a team player. You can't play with team guys and blah, blah, blah. So then he was like, all right, well, I'm just going to be a facilitator. Well, right now, we don't need you to be a facilitator. We need you to score the daggone basketball. That's what we need you to do.
I need the old James Harden.
Yeah, I need the old James Harden. Where's the butt kicking Stone Cold. I need that guy. You know what I mean?
Thank you for understanding my reference, Ben.
I was with you. Oh yeah,
That was good. That was good, guys.
You know, I need the old Stone. Yeah, yep. So yeah, they need the old James Harden, the guy that can put you on the deck, take step backs, go for 40. Like they need that guy. If Joel Embiid, now they still won't win the series, but Joel Embiid being out, with Joel Embiid being out, they need that guy to even have a shot.
I think Embiid's going to play again.
Oh, I think he is too. I think he is too.
Back by game 3.
Game 3, he'll play. Yeah, I don't doubt. I
agree.
Doubt it. Yeah,
he better be. I mean, by the time this NBA playoffs are over, if they get past this, man, like he just keeps losing parts, man. Yeah. Like piece by piece, man. Like, what are we gonna take out on Joel Embiid next, man? Like he's gonna be in bad shape.
Is it Robin Hood Men in Tights? There's this.
Yes. Yep.
Coach to basketball, safe for the pop culture references.
Yes,
absolutely.
High quality ones at that too.
So yeah, I'm with you guys. I really feel like Miami is because last week I picked Philly to win when we had Josh on, but that was before the news came out about James Harden. I mean about Joel Embiid, and I don't know. James Harden probably went to was it Joe's? Is that the big place over there in Philly? I've never been. So.
Are you talking about the cheesesteak place?
Yeah.
Geno's.
Geno's.
Yeah, you can go to Geno's and get your cheesesteak.
Now, Joe's is the pizza spot in New York. He probably frequented that as well. Yeah.
Yes.
I know I did when I was in New York.
Joe's is fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out Joe's in Spider-Man 2, actually.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, pop culture references.
Pop culture once again.
All right, let's talk about the Western Conference real quick. And so last night we had Phoenix and Dallas, and I went to bed when Phoenix was up a lot. So when I woke up this morning, I went, "How did they only win by 7?" And then I went and watched a constellated game, and I went, "Oh, wow, impressive by Dallas to make the comeback, just not enough." Look, I still think Phoenix wins this series. The way Chris Paul's playing in the playoffs is unbelievable. I love it. I freaking love it. I just pray that he just continues and he stays healthy and they make a run at it because, dude, at some point he's got to have one.
I agree.
This, like if it's not now, it's never happening.
Yep.
You know me. I'm never betting on Chris Paul. You guys are all fools if you're doing it.
He said he's played me too many times before.
Oh my God. Come on, man. He's not something's gonna happen. I mean, I hope nothing happens, but something's gonna happen. It always does.
They got through not having Devin Booker and still got to that series. Well, he came back. But I don't know, man. Phoenix was so incredible for the regular season, obviously.
Yeah.
They were freaking
best regular season team this year.
Yeah. And it's New Orleans gives them fits, which look, I know that, especially Sean and I, we talk hella shit about how terrible a franchise New Orleans is. But if you look down and look at it, if they have a point guard, they're pretty legit. They're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to try to hold that against the Suns, though. They should have won that in less than 6. But here, this is you can't have those games. Luka's too good. And you saw it last night. I mean, they're getting guys like, Jalen Brunson, who is going to get paid this offseason. He's going to get paid.
Yeah.
Villanova kid, shout out. Maxi Kleber with 19 points off the bench, helping them out. Dorian Finney-Smith playing really good basketball for them.
15 points last night. Yeah.
I don't think Dallas is deep enough by any stretch of the matter to win games. I just can't see a situation where Luka is going to have to do what he did last night every night for them to be and have a shot at it. And it's just not enough. But also at the same point, I think it's safe to say other than Chris Paul, not very impressed with what we've seen from Phoenix so far in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I would tend to agree with that. I think that Chris Paul has played so well that it's kind of overshadowed I won't say they've been mediocre, but they're not at that level where you expect them to win a championship, they've got to play at a higher level as far as Phoenix is concerned. If you're gonna beat Golden State, who's playing at a really high level, you've got to up your game a little bit. Dallas, I mean, they're just honestly, Tim, you've already said it. They are just another score away from having any success. Luka has to score 40. Brunson would have to score 30. I mean, you'd have to get plus 20 games from somebody else, either Finney Smith or I think it's Keebler. One of those guys would have to go over 20. Like, for them to even have a shot, they need more scoring. But on top of that, Dallas at the beginning of the game was horrendous defensively. They were horrendous. So for them to have a shot, they're gonna need more scoring from a couple other guys, and they've got to get some stops earlier in the game, because that game could have been closer. Like, it finished up really close, or closer than what it should have been. But if they got any stops, during in that first half, they'd have been in a decent position. But they're defensively, they were really bad in that first half.
Mavs got to make some moves this summer. You can't have one of the best players in basketball doing what he's doing every night and just shouldering so much load at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of Porzingis. You know, I always felt like trading for him was kind of a big swing with his injury history and everything. And, you know, it was pretty evident early on that he wasn't a great fit for that role. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, obviously you got Jalen Brunson, like Tim said, could he get paid this summer? He's going to get paid. And it's like, do you go ahead and do you pay Jalen Brunson, or do you go after somebody else with his value, do like a sign and trade or something and, you know, move him on someplace and get somebody? Cause I hate to see this team not have like the fact that they don't have a proper team built around Luka right now. It is literally just Luka. They are nothing without him. It's just sad. Like, I don't really know what they're doing. And I feel like back in the past, the Mavs were like, they were big, swingers during free agency. They go out, hey, let's go pay this guy. Let's go do this. Let's go after these guys. And it's like,
what does Dirk need? We'll get it.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that aggressiveness has not quite been there from the front office since that era. And, you got a young star. You got to build around him right now, because you never know what's going to happen a couple years from now, or, if he's going to demand a trade or, anything like that, if things go south. So you got to make a move. And it's right now, like you guys both said, like this series is over with. Like the Suns are going to be too much for them. They were the best team in the season. They're going to run over this team.
Yeah. It's a shame too, like you said, Sean, that Luka, I mean, now granted, he didn't come in the best of shape to start the season.
No,
man, he's
him and Harden, man.
Yeah. They was definitely hitting them buffets and hanging out and chilling, but to see him now, like, it's like, to waste that talent and not build around him, man. I don't know what Dallas is thinking.
Wake up! They gotta wake up.
Yeah, you're gonna waste a golden opportunity because you've got a top 10 player in the league, and you're just gonna waste a golden opportunity.
A literal generational talent.
Absolutely.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Yeah, I'm with you. And then, obviously, the most fun game so far that we've had was the Memphis Golden State game. And, dude, that's one of those games where, like, if I didn't watch it and I knew the result, I would still go pull it up my DVR and watch it. Like, it was so good. Klay Thompson missing the free throws and coming down and making the stop with Ja to miss the layup. Just incredible defense to pick Ja up like that, who's so fast. And remember, Klay Thompson's coming off 2 like career-threatening injuries and still play defense like that. Super impressive. Obviously, you lose Draymond for whatever. Yeah, a little much.
What a terrible. Go ahead, Tim. You go ahead. It was just such a terrible call to start a playoff series with one of the best players on the floor, and you throw him out of the game. Like at some point, as an official, common sense has to reign. At some point. Like,
Yeah,
come on, guys. What are we doing?
But also, as always, it is in the NBA's best interest for this to go 7 games, and it doesn't go 7 games with the Warriors winning game 1.
Yeah.
So Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was such a tremendous game. We talk about guys who made some money for themselves. Jordan Poole is going to ask a lot of money that the Warriors, I really believe, will cough it up and they will pay him, but they will never be able to afford another person ever again. Between Steph, Clay, Draymond, Wiggins, and Jordan Poole.
And DeAndre Jordan. And DeAndre Jordan's coming.
Wiggins will definitely be the man out among him and Poole, because I think Wiggins has cooled off. Wiggins has cooled off so much since the All-Star break, and he fills a role there. He is very much in the Harrison Barnes role right now. I think kind of like to a lesser degree, though.
Better,
you think so? You think so?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think he's a much more skilled player than Barnes. So I think
that's always been there. It's always been there.
But I just feel like what he the way that Andrew Wiggins completely revitalized his career is very impressive.
No.
A lot of that's the Warriors
he didn't revitalize it. The Warriors revitalized it. That's what happened.
He's got to get some credit. I mean, he didn't. He had to work at it. It wasn't like he just walked in and plop, you're set. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but but that organization
it's not LeBron and Chris Paul.
That organization expects greatness, though, at this point, especially if you have great talent, and that's why Jordan Poole is so great right now. He could have went to any other team in the NBA. I don't think he'd be having the same outcomes that he's having right now. I think being around somebody like Steph Curry, being around somebody like Clay or Draymond or Steve freaking Kerr, all of that matters in development, and being around that, you get a guy like this. This guy has drank the Kool-Aid, and he's joining the party, and it is amazing to watch.
Jordan Poole, let's just go back and remember his draft, was projected to literally be one of the last 3 picks in the draft.
Wow.
Went 26 overall in the first round, and Sean and I both went, what are they doing? Apparently they know more than we do. Yeah. They know much more than we do.
Yeah.
But on the other end, I thought Memphis played great. I love. This is once again another series where it's can both these teams win?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's
3 of the 4 Western Conference teams I really enjoy watching, and the other has Luka, so I still like watching them play.
I think this is gonna probably be the most fun series of the playoffs, and watching Ja, who is another generational talent and the most exciting player in basketball right now, period. Seeing what they've done, and I'll be honest with you, even if they win this series, I don't think they have quite enough to win a title. But man, Jackson just
played really well.
Hell of a game the other night. Hell of a game. And he exposed any sort of weakness they had on him. They could not keep him. I mean, Wiggins was on him, I think, most of the game, and he was just scoring on him at will. And Wiggins is a good defender, so it's a really, really interesting matchup, and it is so fun to watch it. And we'll see what happens, but I feel like the Grizzlies had this one. They really did have it in the bag, and some slip ups happened, and a few runs happened, and. Because at one point I was like, oh, well, Grizzlies are probably going to win. But I know better now because, games as my wife says, 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Back and forth the whole game. So
the Grizzlies are going into this season. So the highest paid player on the roster is Jaren Jackson Jr. at $28 million. The second highest is Steven Adams at $17 million.
Whoa!
They're gonna have some money, and they're gonna be able to make some noise. Obviously they gotta make decisions on guys like Tyus Jones and Kyle Anderson. Which
Tyus has been huge for them, by the way.
He has been
in
very
short
good.
minutes. Yeah,
very good. But he's also getting $16 million So that's going to be
That's a lot
what-
for Tyus Jones. I didn't know
Yeah,
he was
that's-
making that much. No
that's gonna
idea.
make it interesting.
I would have put him in the $5 to $6 million range. I what's going on? When did this happen?
Spot track, my guy.
Oh man,
Research.
man.
Talk
No,
about
but
a team that, like if Golden State couldn't like afford to bring back Jordan Poole, talk about a team that would just love to have him just with John
Oh my
Morant.
gosh. Oh
Yeah,
But-
but I can't see any way, shape, or form Golden State lets him walk.
no,
Mm-mm.
not a chance.
I mean, Klay Thompson has been really good again, which has been awesome, but I'm sure they're still cautious about everything, and as they should be. Yeah, so I like this series a lot. I do think Golden State wins it. I think we do get the Golden State Phoenix Western Conference Finals.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, but I think it goes 6. I really think this is a 6 or 7 game series. I think
Yeah.
Memphis is gonna be able to get a couple games in this.
yeah. I do too. I don't think that.
Taylor Jenkins
Yeah.
is really good, by the way. We don't give him credit for how good of a coach he is.
Yes,
he is. He is.
Absolutely. And I don't think Desmond Bain will have another shooting night where he goes 3 for 10 from 3 and 1
Oh,
or 1
yeah.
for 5 from 3 and 3 for 10 from the field. And Brooks won't go 3 of 13. Them two will both play better,
Yeah.
which will make the series better. So yeah, I definitely think it'll go 6 or 7. But I do think Golden State will pull it out. But I wouldn't be mad. I mean, only for my prediction's sake. But I wouldn't be mad if Memphis won because I do love this Memphis team. But I do think Golden State is the better team and they'll win.
Do you think T Morant is going to bring Usher with him to every game still, so they can like sit next to each other and people be like, "Who's who?"
They need to. He needs to.
Possibly.
Yeah,
Possibly.
yeah, that was awesome when they did that with
Yeah.
the last game of the Minnesota series.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. I love it.
Yes, it will.
I was
be.
gonna say like the thing that really makes me like really is funny to me about Memphis is the way that they've put this team together through the draft and all these young guys. It's not just like Ja and Jared. It's these guys they're finding in the second round, the late first. They remind me of when Golden State started putting it together. They
Mhm.
remind me so much of that, like like the end of We Believe to like Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr taking over winning titles. They like the timeline reminds me so much of what Golden State did. And
Yep.
so I think that's what's really like it's almost like Golden State's like watching a younger version of themselves, like is who they're playing in this series.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, Steph's a totally
definitely
different player than Ja, but like you know what I mean.
Right. But as far as being a dominant scorer, being the best player on the floor, they're absolutely just alike. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So no, I definitely see what you're saying.
It-
It's fun.
I love how much you can see that those two love competing against each other too. It just makes it
Mhm.
so fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
So we go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah. Yep. No, you're good.
So we got a few minutes left before we get out of here. And this has been bugging the shit out of me for 2 days. And I've texted you guys about it already. But we have to just like scream about it here for a few minutes. So let's
Okay.
scream about it.
Okay.
So I listened to The Void the other day. Big fan of Kevin O'Connor. There's very few people in the ringer I really enjoy anymore. Kevin O'Connor's one of them. I really think he does
Yeah.
great work. Jay Kyle Mann's the other. Love what he does. And the discussion came up about, they were talking about, they asked, like Zion did that presser. And they were like, if they offer me a contract, I'm going to stay. And if you look at this roster, no shit, he's going to stay. Like, this is his best chance
yeah.
to do something. And then they talked about Zach LaVine. So at Zach LaVine's post-game, his exit interview with the media, he said, I am going to test free agency. I'm going to explore it. I've never been a free agent before. I'm going to try it out. Like he was restricted when the Kings gave the sheet the Bulls offered. Was
Mhm.
basically he was restricted then, but he's never been a UFA where he can kind of explore options. So obviously as Bulls fans, Sean and I are aware that this was on the horizon, and you talk to any Bulls fan, I think we're all kind of like, look, he had a knee injury and I think that's why he didn't play so well. But like, we know like what this team is with him. Logan Murdoch of The Ringer, who is the host of Real Ones, I don't know if that's really the right name for him after this comment he made, brought up the idea of Zach LaVine going to the Lakers in a sign and trade and the Chicago Bulls bringing in Russell Westbrook. So, no is the first thing I'm going to say. Just going to get that out of there. Second, I don't care how bad Lonzo Ball's knee is. He's playing, and we're not getting Russell Westbrook. Third, no. And fourth, this is not the Garpax era. We have moved on from these terrible, over-the-hill, shitty vets getting overpaid. We did this already.
Yeah.
It's done. Jabari Parker was the end of the old guy who can't play basketball anymore playing for the Bulls. We're not there anymore. You could say Tristan Thompson, but I think he did okay for what his role was for this team. But this is and I'm not here to say that I don't think there's I'm not saying it's impossible Zach LaVine ends up playing for the Lakers. Could totally see it. Same agent as LeBron. He's went to UCLA. He's a California kid. Sure. Totally understand all that. Would rather he didn't. Would rather he stayed in Chicago, obviously. Believe he'll be a Bull next year. Do fully believe it. But the idea that if the Bulls were going to lose Zach LaVine to the Lakers, that they would take on Russell Westbrook is asinine. It's lazy media. And for the love of God, I'm just going to say it one more time for you guys to talk. No!
Go ahead, Sean. This is in your wheelhouse.
This is just stirring the pot right now online after some comments that Zach made, because he's very nonchalant in media right now, saying free agency is going to be fun, I'm looking forward to it, all that stuff, but not really committing, which is a total clutch move, I should say. It's pretty common with them. He's gonna get paid the max in Chicago. It's going to happen. It has to happen because they have no other options at this point. There's no way they're gonna find a better caliber player on the market than Zach LaVine right now. They do need to do some other tinkering on the roster to make become better, obviously. But also the idea, I really do think that the idea of people that want to go out and play with LeBron James, I feel like it's over with because you don't know what LeBron's going to do a year from now. There's no
record.
He's going to break. Yeah, he'll break the scoring record.
Other than that, though, you're right.
Okay, that's it. But it's like you don't know where he's going to be in the next year or something. It's like trying to sign up for a team. It was like when who was Michigan's coach that came down to Cleveland?
Oh, yeah, John Beilein.
Beilein.
Came down there and
he played he tried to say that they played he tried to cover it up and say they played like slugs.
Right.
John. Oh, John.
So there's players and coaches and stuff. I feel like they're a little bit more cautious about hitching their train or their wagon to LeBron at this point in his career. Even if Zach LaVine goes out west and you have LeBron at the same capacity you had him this year, Anthony Davis is made of glass. There's nothing. They don't have any money to do anything else there. They're completely strapped. They have no draft picks, no assets. They traded it all in for one championship, and that's fine. That's what you do. You get that championship. However, I think it's going to be a much longer time for them before they actually are able to make it back to a point where they are a championship caliber team. They're going to have some dark days after LeBron leaves. It's going to happen. It's going to be they're going to be donezo for a while. And, but I just don't see Zach LaVine. If I'm Zach LaVine, do I want to go out to LA and play with those guys? No, I don't. Because, it's like you might be okay, but also LeBron is going to be 38 years old next year. So, or is he 37 now or is he 38 now?
He's 37 now.
Age
Be
is
30,
old,
it'll be
man.
38 in December.
Okay, yeah. So it's like he's going to be 38. So it's like, do you want to go out there and try to do that? What happens after he leaves? Then you're in a situation like Kevin Love was in where he's just like, I don't even really want to play anymore. And it's like, oh, I got a good basketball team again. I guess I'll try. So, you're going to be in a situation like that. So I don't see it happening at all. I think they're just blowing smoke right now just to stir stuff. We're going to have so much smoke this summer. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be so much weird movements. We're going to have a weird draft. It's going to be great, but it's going to be crazy.
No, yeah, I agree with that. I I would agree with that. I think it's a lot of smoke. I think Zach Levine is in the best situation he can be in right now. I think that that Bulls team fits him really well. And I don't think. I mean, of course, everybody wants to, when you become a free agent, want to test the waters, but that Bulls team is his best fit. So hopefully he's smart about it. He signs a deal, stays with the Bulls. Because they do have a legit shot. If they stay healthy, they have a legit shot of getting to the Eastern Conference Finals and having an opportunity. Because what we saw when they were all healthy, that was a really, really good basketball team.
Yeah, I agree. Because like the points they were making, just kind of like, well, is Lonzo's knee going to be okay? And they're once again bringing up DeMar DeRozan's contract. I'm like, we're still doing this. We're still doing this after the year he just had. Like, go find some other lazy narrative. Go talk about the GOAT debate because you guys don't have slow news day, obviously.
Go talk about the GOAT debate.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm with you guys. I'm excited to see what the Bulls can do though. Like, I really think they're going to try to make a move to go like they're going to make a run at Bobby Portis again. I really feel like they are. Try to bring him back to be on this team.
He's not going to come back.
I don't think he will, but I think they're trying to make a move.
But they're going to make a run for it.
Yeah, I think with like AK and Mark Eversley, like those dudes like aren't going to sit on their hands. Like we're past.
I mean, if Nikola Jokic wasn't so like dead set on signing probably what's going to be the most lucrative contract in NBA history this offseason ever, literally, I think that they would probably be second in the running for him. But you got to go where the money's at, man.
Yeah, I already said though, if Nikola Jokic goes to the Bulls, lifetime Portillo's on this guy.
Oh wow!
Anytime he wants to go. He can give me a call and be like, hey, man, I need some Portillo's. I will call Portillo's. I will order the food, say it's for Nikola Jokic, have someone bring it out to him because he went to the Bulls. So
I hope he's listening.
Yeah. No one says no to Portillo's in Chicago. All right.
Good. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
You're 1,000% correct.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we can go ahead and wrap here before we get anything else. I guess real quick. Way to go, Tyler Hero, won 6th Man of the Year. Totally deserved it. Awesome season. It was a lot of fun to watch this year. But all right, now with that being said, we can go and wrap up this week's edition of the Bench Mob here on the 48 Minutes Basketball Network. Thank you all for tuning in, as always, whether you subscribe or listen to the audio or video version of the show. Once again, 48minutesbasketballnetwork.merchmig.com. Get yourself some swag with our logo on it, or some funny shirts like Ben's Dry Snitch Paul Pierce shirt, or TB lost me money because you took some Taylor Bergfeld betting advice and it went awry. We got those on there as well. So yeah, we continuously are adding stuff to the site, to this page as well. So everyone have a good night. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the playoffs.